Hello, and let us get this out of the way right at the start, because I'm sure people will have noticed in the title and just by counting. Yes, it's episode 69. So, but before you head to the comments with that, before you think, oh, I'm going to make some sort of ribald, meme-laden joke about the number of this episode, imagine me as a strict teacher wielding a blackboard eraser with deadly aim of heads and temples, and think, maybe I shall not. Maybe I will not see the blackboard eraser rising. So, anyway, welcome to episode 68B. We're going to connect up some acid. I have a nice repository of acid here, and this should work a little better than the sodium hydroxide, which has not been going amazingly well. Let's just set that up. So let's learn clamfair sodium hydroxide. So these are just going to be set up so that they go via that waypoint, or they go to the Brian Works. And this is just because I wish to extend the Brian Works. So there's some nice kind of chemical facilities. There we go. There's the oil facilities. So we have some nice fixtures actually. Should we do some stuff? Should we have a couple of little oil tanks or something? They're nice. Oh, there's a storage tank. There we go. Ooh, yes, that looks good. I rather like that. So there we go. We have that, and then we'll put the oil facilities in. And these can be a little larger. They don't need to be sort of super large, but they can be a little larger. And they're going to be like that. We're going to have an overflow depot there, and an overflow depot for this as well, which brings an interesting thing. This should be fine. So we're going to have exit signal here and an entry signal. Now, this might not be quite so smart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend that out like that. And then I'm going to put my entry signal. And yet again, I've forgotten that I'm in the age of electrics. And there we go. That should be good. And this will be like this. So flat junction should be fine. You don't really have to worry about this too much. So yes, we'll have a flat junction here. We'll have some ASIC signals there. We'll have a off-rate signal here. I think, I think this doesn't need to be roll on, roll off. We kind of got into the habit of doing it, and it's not really necessary. So let's look at this before we go too far with clamfair. Let's demolish these houses. Demolish them. We don't need them. And build a bridge. It's a long bridge, but that doesn't matter. There we go. So that is the signal that. And this not quite on perfect distances, but this shouldn't be too overloaded down here. This shouldn't need too much in the way of trains. One thing I do need is to put in my waypoint. So this is going to be clamfair acid. So this is where the acid trains go. And I just need a depot before that, just so that I can build them. Oh, sodium hydroxide 53 is getting older. No. Give me the news article I wanted. Okay. So that actually, yes, actually, no, that can go. So what type of train is this? Why? Oh, 517 glass. Okay. So let's replace it with something else. The Studio 1, Midland 1441, Drummond M7. How fast does the 517 class go? It's 40 miles an hour, so really worth replacing it with something fairly okay. And let's do that. Let's do a prairie tank. So anyway, so that's our acid. So let's make sure the acid can actually get to where it needs to go, which I'm not sure it can. Yeah, so yes, this is just sodium hydroxide. It only goes to there. And we need to we need to connect it to the rest of our network. So let's do that. Let's build a cantilever bridge here. Let's build signals there. That I think connects that up to there. Where's the input come from? This is the train input. Oh, there we go. That can go across there. So put another signal there. So that should connect it up to the network. That should let it get somewhere around here. So that brings it down to here. And oh, we're not going to the tyre place though, are we? So let's make sure that can actually get down. So that will come across here. And actually, the way the place it should go is around here. So this is all rather. Well, this is not going to be that busy, is it? So we probably could just have a long tunnel. So let's try that. Let's put a long tunnel in there, and hopefully we won't forget about it, and then we will end up using it for other things, and it'll be a disaster. But there's trains line up for that tunnel. That should be okay. So that solves that problem. Now we need to solve the problem of this coming through here. So build out that a little bit. That can come in through there. I don't want to get too close to the supply up actually. But, this I can see a deadlock happening there. Now could actually fit that. Oh, 2 hubs. They're getting to the point. So the point we had before was where we were getting all of these. Why is this not letting me? Oh, because there's a filter. Because I'm clicking on that instead. That would help. So what I want to do is just get this and move this along a little bit. Just a couple. Here you go. Off you pop. And you as well. Off you pop. So. Same problem. The annoying thing with that filter string. There we go. So I just want to build some 6 signals there. And do I have space? Yes, I do have space. I can put a depot there. So I now want to turn that into a block signal. That should give an overflow on that. So that should work a little bit more efficiently. So let's go back to this. I don't know what that's doing there. Let's just cause problems on purpose. So this is going to go here, and then we're going to need to come sort of in a bit. But I might let that run a little bit through there. So there we go. That's not too cheaty, I don't think. A little bit cheaty, but it's not too cheaty. It's a fairly nice set of bridges there. So there we go. So 6. Oh, there's one there. Good. 4 Thames. Well, that would be. Oh, maybe in a bit. No, it's gone now. The opportunity is gone. And yes, so much for enclosing their depot. And never mind. What they were attempting there. And, well, let's let them attempt it. Ooh. Perfect. So the gurgler. Let's let it gurgle some acid. So, yeah, that's interesting. Why is that Google Brian works there? What on earth are you doing? You should go from Tanner Road to... How weird. Is this because I've introduced something that I should not have introduced, and now chaos has ensued? Well, let's let chaos ensue a bit. So these are these. No, so oh well. Yes, why is this Tanner Road thing? Okay, I don't know how they got there. I don't know why they got there. Should they have got there? Who knows? Let's make sure they use the drop off, even though it's more inefficient. That's probably not a good idea to just randomly put it there, because I think that junction is quite critical. So, yes, because if they're coming from there, they should probably be going from there. So, yes, let's do the Brian drop. Let's put that there. There we go. So this should really be going via the Brian drop, because I don't really want it using the load up station. So, okay. Back to our gurgle construction. Let us gurgle. And then there we go. That's good. And 157 kilonewtons is probably quite good. So that, and how much acid did that produce? It produced lots of acid, actually. Probably get quite a decent amount of acid in there. So acid, 216,000. So it should probably go for a little more than a month's production. So 324,000 litres of acid. And that's 4.4. I will put a brake fan on it, because I think that will speed it up. Yes, 55 miles per hour. Ooh, class 20. Oh, we're getting all of the first generation diesels are kind of coming out now. So we're able to, because things like the class 20 are quite useful, because they stay around. Because they're still in use on the network today. So indeed they. You don't have all that replacement problem that we have with all the other locomotives. They just peacefully replace themselves, and without going, oh no, you can't buy class 20s anymore, that's rubbish. Okay, that's waiting for a free path. Oh, that's fine. That's a train coming out of there. So let's set those up. That's great. That's a jazz. There we go. And it's all good. And there we go. That's some good going for episode 70-1. And the blackboard eraser remains in my hand. You at the back of the comments. There will be any misbehaviour, and I shall set a 300-word essay on the English Electric 6KT engine. Or something of the sort. Did you? And so those acid their way up, and maybe I will need some more. I do need at some point to start going around all of the problems that my network has. Steel wire, yes, because we only have one steel wire train. Because I only built it to stop the AI stealing my stuff, so. Well, some more. 400 trains. I should check my frame rate. So, as my train ticks going, not too bad. Usually most of these games sort of end when train ticks start to get up from about 12 or 15 and start slowing the frame rate, and it becomes rather painful. Slowing the simulation rate, actually, I should say, because it's not frame rate in newer versions of OpenTTD. Its simulation rate is decoupled. Newcastle, so what's that? 9Q, yes, that's probably needs replacing, so. That's a shame. If the class 20 had been available, probably could have replaced it with that, but 9Q. That can be replaced with gurglers. There we go. That's good. That can go there. We've got a few things which are getting a bit old. Mountain Ridge Line, for example. That's a huge crab. Can you still get a huge crab? Can you still buy crabs? Yes, you still buy crabs. That's just it being a nonsense and refusing to service itself. So we can just force them to service. It should be okay. So Cobus and Cark Line. 9 ends, yeah. That probably just needs to service itself. Yeah. That's Warford Express. That's a King class. So I think most of these are still available. So we should just let them service themselves. I should probably do that with the Wareham branch as well. I was going to go and do some was the other thing I needed to connect, which was cleaning agents, which come from a wharf. So we should do that, but let's get these into a good place first. Because I should probably do the wearer branch as well. Just set these up to service themselves. Hopefully this won't cause too much chaos. It won't sort of de-separate them too much. That's good. That's good. And these broccoli bells, actually, these I should really make sure they service, because I'm not sure how much longer that locomotive is available for. Oh, that's problematic. So these apparently don't even have local depots. So let's fix that. Let's put some depots on the track. Oh, there we go. So that's servicing. That's servicing. That's just service. That's interesting. Why can't you find a path to your local depot? This probably influences why they don't service. There we go. So maybe one Mallard should probably. Oh dear, that's not how that should work. So that's Bollard, even not Mallard, Bollard. Yes, this one has the same problem. There's something definitely around cows that there's no access to a depot. So yes, okay, that would be a problem. Let's build a depot there. That would help a lot. So there we go. So is Bollard? Is that where Bollard goes? Yes, it does. I never realised that Bollard goes to a terminus station. So yeah, so that's that's done. And so you should think about now. I said, whoa, where's one that's near our wire and section mill? So there's not really one near a. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. They're here. And does it? No, it doesn't transport cleaning agents. So that's excellent. We can start transporting those. So this is all little bits. New Rock is a little bit of a problematic station, isn't it? Because it's all a bit tied up. But I think we don't really need. So if we move this out to here, it doesn't need to be third rail. That could be just railway. So this will need upgrading a bit. There we go. And yes, so what am I going to talk about? That's interesting. This. Let's get rid of that. The only reason I'm doing this is because actually this should be. If we do that, that goes like that. Then I can put the signal there. They get rid of that, and I can make that a tunnel before that stops. And that's not really helpful. Why did I want to do that? I wanted to bring their station out around here. That was why. So I now need to add some facilities or something for this. So do you have anything that's useful? Do we have any kind of fixtures that we can put? Yes, I could put a nice road out here. And I don't know what the station spread setting is, actually. It might find that we just don't have enough station spread to do this, but let's hope. Let's hope we can. It'd be nice if we can, wouldn't it? So what can we do with this? Do we have any nice facility that we can put on top of this? A little crane on top of there. I don't know what it'd be for. Maybe for re-railing trains or something. So that means that I can put a station in here. So this is going to be a station for the paints and coatings. So probably I'm going to use this water pumping station, actually. I think that would look quite nice. So that will come about through here. And so that like that. And now we have the problem of how to actually get this round the. So this I think is going to have to become a sort of little island here. And this route in, I think, Let's not do that too much. Let's try to get this. Let's try to get this right. Because there's. I'm not sure that I can push this round. That's going to be fun, isn't it? So, in fact, this may need to have a little bit of jiggling. So, yeah, so the entrance to this station, I think, is going to have to change. You're going to have to reprofile this a bit and bring this like this. I think that is fine. That is fine to have an entrance to a station like that. And then this will have to go along here. So again, this a little bit of a landlocked wharf. This it's not really so wharf-like now. But yes, let's do this. This is horribly cheating, but let's do that anyway. And so yes, so this can then become a. That's it. There we go. That's good. That can go in there. That just needs a depot there. This doesn't need to be too smart, really. Here, so we do want to put in a waypoint. Or Leyland Leopard, the bus of mini a school trip. That mini a chaotic school trip as well. So this could be new rock coating. Not coatings. I'm about to do the same thing, cleaning agents. Like some sort of secret service of cleaning. That means I'm going to want a depot there so I can build the trains which go there. So let's do that. Let's have... What do we have? Do we have the class 20 yet? No, it's going to have to be... Well, let's build some... let's... 9F is really an express, isn't it? But so I don't really want to do that. Let's build more gurglers. Let's gurgle our way through the cleaning agents. So cleaning agents, I think, run on one of the... Yes, we'll run on a salmon wagon. So how many cleaning agents do they make? They make 162,000 litres, so... Or 162 tons. So this is probably a little bit much. But this should be okay. Ooh, Thompson auto tanker. That would be quite fun. So that's going to go there. Then that's going to go round to the drop off, and then it's going to drop off. It's cleaning agents. I think it's cleaning agents. Yes, yes, so cleaning agents. So we got two of those. So this now just going to be the cleaning agency. Really good. So let's talk about the iron discipline of the Black Border Racer, which was kind of an unofficial thing in my school, which teachers, really weren't allowed to do it, so it didn't really happen. It was just kind of an implied threat. That kind of casual brutality had gone out, but there was still definitely a difference between sort of teachers who kind of ruled with the kind of respect and authority that emperors of large historic empires would have wished they had. That all GT3, yes, interesting prototype. We don't really have a chance to build it anywhere, I don't think. And then there were those that did not. And those that did not, I'm very much reminded of an era, which I was called. How are these doing? And well, this blatantly stalling for time while I wait for these to fill up. But let's stall for time pleasantly anyway. And there was a short-lived era in my school days, which we called fruit in geography, and fruit in geography was it was proper geography. We were learning about things, learning about importing fruit to nations which didn't have fruit, namely the geography classroom, a nation which did not normally have fruit, and then learning about the classroom because geography was not one of the lessons in which iron discipline occurred. And so, now I have the class 20, 5T as well. There's lots of good stuff. We should build some nice bus routes, actually. Maybe now we've got a wire and section mill in progress. The warship warship. Let's replace something with a warship. Let's do that. Let's replace an express with a warship. Maybe these. These could be warships. That'd be good. What are they? They are crabs. Yeah, let's replace the crabs with warships. We're doing that. Yes, so geography as a lesson became less a learning experience and more just a kind of casual fruit fight, as you will. And so this went on. In some ways, this gradually sort of became more and more of an elevated problem. Sort of small fruits like, tomatoes are fruits, aren't they? Yeah, small things like tomatoes and cherries and whatever gradually escalated via, kind of tangerines all the way up to proper full-size oranges. And proper full-size oranges were good because if they'd been rattling around in a school bag for most of the day, especially if you have an afternoon geography lesson, then they're quite soft and they're quite squishy. And when they hit a hard surface, they tend to splat most effectively. So you sort of had a geography classroom which just had orange stains on the windows and general sort of fruit detritus smeared. And then one day, things got a bit excitable, and a back row versus front row war broke out. Fruit was involved because it was the fruit in geography era, and towards the end of this was very much the end of the period. The reason the end of the period of fruit in geography was a very large orange. Sort of one of those kind of bowling ball oranges, one of those things that are basically the size of a grapefruit and about double the heft. One of those sort of sailed across the classroom. I think it was aimed at someone who ducked, actually. And at the point they ducked, it basically hit the open door of the geography classroom. It was an upstairs classroom, and bounced off the door into the stairwell, sort of clonk, 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 down the stairs, which would have been fine. It was just sort of just a stray orange rolling about the halls of the school. Stranger things have happened. Except for the fact that was the point at which the head of geography, who was definitely a iron-willed ruler who meted out firm discipline, and would definitely not tolerate anybody going 69, was walking up the stairs at the time and just saw an orange come bouncing out of our geography classroom. And that was possibly my first experience of a class being told off by a head of department in which the teacher is seemingly in as much trouble as the rest of the class. Ooh, teacups. I've only finished this train. We've got to finish up our cleaning agents first. They knew we were running over time, but this very important story, life lessons, which is that, is there a life lesson? Well, the thing is, kind of as a class, we only briefly got in trouble because the one that's really more entitled was the teacher. So I guess the life lesson is, if you are a geography teacher and you are teaching geography and your geography class starts having sort of low-level fruit wars, do not allow them to escalate into a high-level fruit war. Otherwise, you might get into trouble. And there we go. That's the highly specific lesson of episode 68A. As we finally see our first cleaning agents drop into Hackbridge drop-off. And that, I believe, is a pleasant place to leave it. So I shall see you in a future episode.